Hello, hello, it's Wezel here, and thanks for joining me as I continue on my adventures of SnowRunner on hard mode. And today we're starting into Alaska. So we have all the trucks. I'm currently sitting at Smithfield Dam in Michigan still, but we have all our trucks put away and we're ready to hop over to Alaska, where we'll head to Northport and start our next adventure. So this will be day 45 of my daily day a day, and I've pretty much set to run from 8 o'clock in the morning through to 8 o'clock the following morning each day. So when we arrive at Alaska, we don't have any current vehicles that are there, so we have to bring some in from Michigan. Now, all my vehicles are in Michigan because that's where I was. So I'm going to bring in the White Western Star as my first one, and that's going to cost me $3,500, but it is what it is. Interestingly, we're going to start Alaska pretty much with bang on $200,000. So we'll chew into that straight away by bringing in the White Western Star. Now at the moment the White Western Star is unconfigured. I've got pretty much everything I want or can have. I can't get the best engine yet. I'm still sitting on the second engine. I've got the off-road gearbox, I've got the raised suspension, I've got the chains on that I had bought originally for the GMC because they have the same size tyres, so I can switch them over. I've got the advanced medium winch, which cost me $18,000 back at the end of Michigan. I've got the engageable diff lock. I haven't got a spare wheel. I've got the tall wedge cap snorkel. I've got engageable. And on the frame, what we're going to start with is, of course, the loading crane and a low saddle. The trick with the White Western Star 4964 is it can't have the crane, a tray bed and pull a trailer. So that tends to lean or make it lean more towards being a semi-trailer type vehicle. So I tend to use the sideboard semi-trailer as the main thing that I use here. Okie doke, so it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Nice bright morning in Alaska, Northport. And we're going to start up. Now I'll just come over here and grab this trailer, then I'll have a look at the fairly covered up map. So there's rather nicely a little 2-slot flatbed trailer here for us that we can grab. Attached trailer. So I'll just stop the engine there and have a quick look at the map. And we'll swing it to north. Right. So the map as it stands, there we go, there's the map. Now you'll see that we've got 4 watchtowers, but they don't cover the whole map. So this is the first map where there's parts of the map that are not displayable when you go to a watchtower. You've actually got to investigate them yourself. So for example, there looks like there's something down here, which looks like some sort of factory or something anyway. So we're probably going to want to investigate that, but it won't be revealed by the map, by the watchtowers on the map. Similarly, there's something up here. Yeah. So there's a few things on this map that aren't, even the garage, aren't covered by the watchtowers. Okay. Anywho, that's how it is. For the contracts, the only one we can start with, the only thing we can do is pipeline construction. And that's to fix the pipeline quite close to where we are. So we're going to start with that. So let's fire up and get a wiggle on to do our pipeline construction activity. Now I've got the chains on, which means that icy roads aren't a problem. If I didn't have chains, that sort of turn there would be a bit slippery. I find Alaska an interesting map. It's not a really, really hard region to navigate around. Sure, it's got its challenges here and there, and some of it's very slow going. Ow. But you can use the roads a lot in Alaska, more than anywhere else. So I sort of toss up between running the chains, because they help you when you're on the icy roads, versus running my UOD2s, the off-road tyres, which are better in the snow. Now, pretty much SnowRunner treats mud and snow pretty similarly. I think I'm going to get open that crane. Yep. Yeah, mud and snow pretty similarly. So anything that's good in mud is probably going to be good in the soft snow. Hard snow is more like dirt. So you'll see as we get around Alaska, we'll no doubt find different spots where we've got soft snow, where the mud tyres work very well, hard snow, where the UODs or any sort of tyre tends to work okay, and the roads with ice, where you really are best with the chains. Anywho, we're off to a good start. My plan to start the Alaska region is pretty much to try and open up these blocks, road blocks, that are in the way, so we can then get around the whole map without worrying about having to take shortcuts, or not so shortcuts, to avoid rock slides or broken bridges or whatever. And there's a few of them to do. So we'll start off with the pipeline construction. And of course, while I'm on the roads, I don't need to worry about all-wheel drive. But when I come to a snowy patch, then I'm going to want to get all my wheels working. And it wouldn't be Weasel on wheels if you didn't jump into the driver's seat. So let's hop in to the driver's seat of the White Western Star. And just have a look as we go around the main road. Here we find a little bit of a snowy bit, which just sort of slows us down. Push through. Still got our trailer behind us. Sure enough, we come here, check it out. We've got a pipeline right there in the middle of the way, which we have to help construct. So let's do that. Yee-hee! Money in the bank. Off we go. So that gives us $1,400. And, even more importantly, opens up this road here for us. So we'll keep on going here. And then I'm just going to detach this trailer because I don't particularly need it now. So we'll just park it here on this snow. Make sure it's off the road and out of the way. I'm not going to use that again for a bit. We are going to come down here and see what we can find on this little route. Bit of a different look to Michigan. Now we've got snow. SnowRunner has snow. Good part of Alaska. Fir trees, I think they are, aren't they? I think so. Just go back to low because the wheels look like they were spinning. Oh, and there is a task over there and what looks like a rather nice looking fuel trailer. I'm never one to pass up a fuel trailer. Now let's come back and have a look at this. So this task is the oil tank delivery, and it's going to be to typically deliver this tank to, I think it's the fuel station. Now, I can see a pretty nasty rock there, so I'm not going to run that over. Instead, we'll just grab them and we'll drag him out of there. Now, just because I happen to know, I'm going to take a slight detour down this river. Try not to bash into too many of those rocks. Because just down this river around the corner is a little upgrade. I won't keep trying to turn there because I would have tipped. Just bump over the rocks. Now this is raised. Oh, that was raised suspension. Just ran away. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what that was for. I'll have to look that up and tell you in a moment. I think it's for something weird like a Freightliner. Something I don't have anyway. So I've got it, but I don't think it's going to be high on my must-use list. But given that I'm trying to do a 100% walkthrough, I have to get it. Oh, this could be a bit hard. Drag ourselves over there. Now, those of you that are eagle-eyed will notice that the White Western Star looks beautiful and panel beaten again. And that's because I spent the $2,500 at the end of Michigan to do a full repair. Mostly because I knew I was going to be using it here in Alaska, and it's nice to at least start with a truck that looks like it's somewhat looked after. I'm sure it won't be by the time I finish with it, but at least we can have it straight and square when we start. Now I'm just going to head down that road there, I think, because that's back to the other way. So I want to, yeah, just drop this off. I'm going to detach it there. Head down. I'm just having a little peek. Yes, I'm not quite where I want to be. I should be. How curious. Oh, we'll cut it through. I'm going to head through to this road here because I'm basically heading over this way. I know that there's there's rumour that there is a Hummer sitting there just ripe for the taking. So we'll just missed our turn off. What we got there now? So I'm sort of trying to do all the road building, bridge building, traffic, you know, fixing up type tasks, and also, where I can, picking up the vehicles that are available. Alaska's got a couple of really good vehicles available. In my view, the Hummer probably isn't one of them. However, it's there and it's okay. It's probably a step up from the Chev as a scout vehicle, but yeah, it's probably not the greatest scout in the world. Just cut the corner a bit there, so we'll get it, and I'll. Again, it's a bit like the Transstar. I'm in two minds as to whether I'll keep it. I probably will for starters. But I've got my eye on another scout vehicle that is just a beast and made for Alaska, which I'm thinking I will actually spend some money on. But we'll come to that in a little while once I've opened up the roads a bit more. Got things a bit cleaner. So here we go, here's where we wanted to pick up the Hummer. There it is. Hello, Hummer. We'll just do a bit of a U-ey, turn around, put the tail back. And for the Hummer, we need to bring it back to our garage into a sort of a parking lot spot there, and then it's ours to own. So that's rather friendly. A bit like this White Western Star, where we had to go and find it and bring it back. The only difference, I guess, is that it isn't actually damaged. So I probably don't want to damage it bringing it back if I can avoid it. Once we bring it back, it's going to be mine. So we'll just retrace our steps back to the fuel tanker. Chains do okay in the deeper snow. The UOD2s would probably be better here, to be honest. Let's follow our same sneaky cut through. Did we ram it into a tree? We did. Sorry, Hummer. Just get you back away from that tree a little. Ourselves away from the tree a little bit more. slightly muddy snow. And we're just going to low. Just drag through. Now we can get going again. Slightly different terrain, well obviously very different terrain to Michigan. I find it much easier to lose my bearings in the snow. It's yeah, it's a lot easier to sort of lose your direction, whereas I found in Michigan, I don't know if it was just that it was a bit more open or I don't know what. I tended to be able to get my sense of direction better, whereas in Alaska you tend to just have to stop and think. Just be, you know, think about where am I? Where am I going? Now I'm going to have to winch tow the little Chev behind the fuel trailer, which I never like to do because the fuel trailer doesn't have a rear winch spot, it only has side winch spots. I think we should be okay. I'll just have a look by going to the trailer view. Back as far as I can go. Yeah, looks alright. That's pretty cool. I'm going to bring the trailer and the Hummer back to the garage. We can use this trailer as our refuel point for the first part of Alaska. Alaska's a bit funny. It can be a bit scary to start with and you think, oh, I'm not going to have enough fuel. But a bit like Michigan, there's actually a lot of fuel in Alaska. So much so that we'll probably end up with 2 fuel semi-trailers full at the end of it, and maybe even more. So it's probably, you know, 8,000, 9,000 litres that we'll have after we've finished everything, which is a bit like Michigan. So we should make the most of that. I'll just drop the Hummer off there and then carefully pull up alongside the road here so that the fuel trailer is available for, oh, obviously not carefully enough. There we go, that's fine. So the fuel trailer's there, available for anybody who happens to be passing. And we'll just nip back. And I guess I'll refuel as we go. Oops, refuel. Just drag the Hummer into where it goes. Oh, I didn't mark the task. So let's grab that task. Did I? Oh my goodness, I don't believe I did that. I didn't trigger the task. What a sausage. What a silly sausage. Okay, I haven't triggered the task, so I activated the task. So it won't show me the drop point. However, I will have to do that on my way past later on. It's okay, it's not okay, it's very stupid. I did not intend to do anything with the Hummer. Now I'm a bit concerned if I actually leave it in the drop point when I trigger it, whether it will just magically happen. So I might just push it back here. That'll do. So it's now outside of the drop point, which is right where my truck is. Can't believe I forgot to activate that task. It was a silly sausage, wasn't it? Oh well. It just shows how silly you can be. I'm not sure if I probably should. I suppose I should do that now. Oh boy. Alright, let's go back and do that. Oh, this is going a little bit out of my way now. Go back and reactivate that task. At least I know where I'm going. I did that to one of the tasks in Michigan as well when I was walking through Michigan. Obviously, these early tasks, you have to remember to activate them when you find them. That muddy part that we mentioned before. Cut round to the left. I was so pleased that I'd managed to find the Hummer without getting lost and without wasting any time. But when I came down here, I didn't actually press the X button. Drowned Hummer. Yes, please. I'll accept that. Hummer accepted. Alright. So we've wasted a little bit of fuel and a bit of time, but, you know, hopefully we'll have no real harm done. I want to turn this around before long, because going backwards is a bit harder than going forwards. So let's just run our tail back there. Alright, we'll head back, continue on with our next task. And the next task is clearing Up Roadblock, which I'll uncover when I get back onto the road again. It's my turn off. See, we're gradually churning up the mud there, the snow there, making it worse. So each time we come through, it's just a little bit muddier. Sorry, tree. Through this very slow muddy part. I've used up a bit more fuel than I would have liked. Hopefully this won't end in tears. I'm now going to be on quite a bit of a fuel run. Because I need to go and, well, let's cut. That is the main road, isn't it? No, that's not the main road. Rightio. Now we're back to the main road. So, we'll drive off and try and save a bit of fuel. Up through the rocky pass. Discover the roadblock, and this time the rock obstacle. For rock obstacle, we need to deliver 1 metal beams to the rock obstacle. Great. Back. We'll activate that, and we'll start tracking it, because this is the one I'm actually going to do. Now, this is one of the few places where it's pretty easy to skirt around the obstacle. Probably wouldn't try and do this if I had a trailer full of cargo, but while I'm just in the truck on its own, the White Western Star pulls around there without even going into all-wheel drive. So again, I'm just going to go into high and try and see if that helps with fuel economy. We're going to follow this main road around. My cunning plan is to follow this main road around to get to the factory at the sort of northwest of the map, where there is a factory, and we'll be able to load up some metal beams. Test that we'll do later on. Not going to go out of my way for anything now. I think I'll be okay for fuel, but I've definitely made it a bit trickier. Speaking of fuel, there's a fuel station right there, and that's where we have to deliver the fuel trailer eventually. But like Michigan, that'll be one of the last things we do, because we want to hold on to that fuel trailer for quite a while, use all the fuel in it. return it with only 10%. Starting to get a bit dark, so I'll pop our lights on. Once I get to the factory, I'll open the map up and show you where I went and where we're going next. You might be thinking, what's he doing going straight to the factory? He's got nothing to load his metal beams onto. First of all, I'll trigger that task though. So that's the lost service trailer. However, we're lucky because at this factory there is a trailer store just for us. And I'm going to buy my favourite sideboard semi-trailer simply because you can't find one here. There were hundreds of them lying around in Island Lake in Michigan, but in Alaska, not so much. There's a few two-slot trailers like the one we've used to deliver the service pass at the very start, but there's no semi-trailers until you get to Pedro Bay, where there's a gooseneck semi-trailer, but that to me is a bit like a flatbed, and it isn't quite so friendly to use as the sideboard one. I'll make an investment in one sideboard semi-trailer and we'll use that throughout all of Alaska, and we'll use a lot. Okay, put our crane out because we're going to load up a metal beam, please. I've actually parked a bit of a way away from the trailer, so I'm a bit worried that I've made it a bit hard for myself. We should be okay, I'm hoping. Don't bounce on that. Just try and straighten it up before I put it into the trailer. It's going to be quite a reach to get there, but with a bit of luck we'll be okay. Up, not down. As you can see towards the end, the trailer, the metal beams sort of fell into the tray as such, or they get to a point where the arm of the crane can't help them. But we knew that. Try and do it this time. No, I messed it up again. So we've got 2 metal beams, one of them for rock obstacle, and I'm being a touch naughty and doing what I've said I would prefer not to do. I've got one loaded for a task that we don't know about yet, which is to fix the bridge in Northport. So I know about it, but I haven't triggered that task or activated that task, which I'm trying not to do. But I think I did it once in Michigan as well, and it comes back to just economics. The effort required to go over there and trigger that task when that's all you're doing is just not worth it for me. So I'm assuming that someone's told me I need it. There's a bridge, it needs to be fixed. Can you get some metal beams? Sure. Actually, a bit of nighttime driver seat work might be fun. Oh, that's right, I said I was going to show you where we went. Well, once I get up to this main road, which we nearly are at, I'll stop and we'll pop the map on. Just have a little quick look at that. Right, so we're on the road. We'll just have a quick look at the map. So basically, the garage is down here. The Hummer is now sitting right outside of it. Then we came up, we went sort of cross country to find the drowned Hummer. Came back to the main road, followed the main road up, past the rock obstacles, up and around. Didn't go up that way. That's the gateway to, I think, Pedro Bay. No, White Valley. We came along here, past the fuel station, through the water. That's where the truck is now. And then we kept going along to the trailer store and factory here. So we've done fairly well coming across the top, and you can sort of see roughly how big this map is. So we're sort of, you know, we've gone round the outside, which is where the main road goes, to about the 12 o'clock spot. Okay, now we're going to come back, same route, back. We'll do the rock obstacle task, which is there, and then keep on coming down, and eventually over here, somewhere about there, to do the mountain bridge, or some bridge task. We will come to that. So let's keep going with our little rock lobster. Third time lucky. And head on our way. Now this path here to the right that I'm going past, that would take me back down to the where I found the oil tanker. So at one stage I was thinking of just using that path to come up, sort of cut through to come up, but it's muddier and slower than the main road, and because the rock obstacle isn't much of an obstacle to a unloaded truck, I thought it's going to be easier to follow the main road when I'm short of fuel or a bit worried about my fuel use. So I follow the main road, go round the rock obstacle and on to the factory. I could have come up through that, but it would have been muddier and less fuel efficient. So now we're just going to pop along down this road. This is very easy in the White Western Star with the chains on. If you don't have chains on, it can be a little bit more annoying, but it's still very doable. So it's a good one to open up, because as much as you're sort of going around the outside of the map, it's easy driving and very fuel efficient. Some of the tracks through the middle of the map, although they're going to be shorter if you're running through the middle, they're obviously a lot muddier and will be slower, and most likely from our little fuel economy tests that we did in Michigan, most likely nowhere near as economic from a fuel point of view, which is important in hard mode. We arrived. Almost went straight through the cargo spot, and we'll drop off our metal beam, which removes the worst of the rocks, opens that up for us, and we'll keep on coming. Now these, you know, I hate those little red and white signs because they have a horrid habit of being mean to your suspension. So I tend to go round them, or very carefully and slowly through them. Again, I've popped myself into high, A, for a fuel economy purpose, but also because it just takes the edge off your speed. Because I'm such a woeful driver, if I go fast I crash into everything. So putting it into high means that it just gives me that extra bit of control. And yes, you're not going as quick because you're sort of stuck in third gear, I think. High seems to equate to third gear with the SnowRunner gearbox. But you keep just motoring along. Put all-wheel drive on to come through this muddy bit. I think we'll still get through it in high. And there I was worried about my fuel use, and going on about, oh, I need to be careful. Still nearly got half a tank. I could have done whatever I liked. Speaking of which, let's finish off what we were supposed to do before. Now we've got a target spot there for the Hummer. So we'll just grab the lost Hummer task. Drowned Hummer task, sorry. Now, I've never done this before, but I reckon I should be able to do this. And I can. So there we go. We've now got ourselves a Hummer. No, I meant to do that before. It would have been nicer to have done that before. But we've done it now, so. And that Hummer is now ours to do what we want with. Problem is, I don't know what I want to do with it. So I'll probably end up doing nothing. We'll definitely refuel now. and I'm not doing lost service trailer, so this lost service trailer will no doubt pop up a lot because it's the first task on my list. So I'll keep trying to remember to close that out when I'm not doing that task. Otherwise it gets a bit confusing to remember what is he actually doing. We're going to come along this way now, and as I said, we're going to be a bit naughty by delivering these to a task that I haven't got on my list yet. Try and avoid doing that. I'd like to be able to say when I load something, I am loading it for this task or this contract. Only for my own, you know, simplicity or tenacity, whatever the right word is. Just trying to make sure that I'm loading for a reason. Because again, trying to mimic reality a little bit. You wouldn't load your truck up with metal beams if you didn't have some reason to do that. But in this case, it's a rumour. There's a rumour that there's a bridge that needs metal beams. We've got snow falling, just a little bit. Oh, now stopped. We had a few flakes in the wind. Oh, some more. So again, a relatively nice, benign, sealed road with a bit of ice on it. Great if you've got chains on. A little bit more challenging without chains on. See these a task box here. What am I doing? Handbrake. No, that's not handbrake. That's handbrake. Right. Save a bit of fuel. Bridge repair. E01 will accept that task. We'll track that task where he needs some metal beams. Wow. Let's deliver those metal beams. Look at that. Almost like we knew it was there. So we've got some very cute metal beams that we have. Nice. Thank you. We'll just run on over the bridge, make sure it works. Again, I'm slowing down for that corner just in case I get a bit excited. I'm going to run down here. Down here at the end of the road is the port. I'm actually just going to stop there because that is all I need from him at the moment. And what we're going to do, I'll quickly go back to the map. So again, you can see what we've done. So now we've run with our factory run around the outside down to where the White Western Star is at the port. You can see we're sort of gradually building a circle around this map. All right, but I'm going to now switch back to the garage and bring in the Fleetstar, because now I want to start to explore a bit further afield. So the Fleetstar's got a little bit of damage on it, but it's not too bad, so I think we'll live with that. Another $3,500 needs to be spent. Fine, we've done that. Now at the moment I could buy a second engine, but I know that the Westline is available in Alaska, so with any luck I'm going to find that, and then I can use that. We'll stick with the balanced gearbox and the rest of the setup at the moment. The only thing I am going to do is put chains on. So here's our all chains, so a little bit of expense, but we'll go with our chains. And we'll then come down to the add-ons and do the usual. So we'll have the sideboard bed and our crane. So we're good for picking up the usual sorts of things. Alrighty. So from here now, I'll do the map again. I'm going to head up the main road, across and up into that area there, which is the gateway into Black River, the next map. There is another trailer store there at the garage, which is the same as what we had in Michigan. But we don't need to grab a trailer at the moment. I'm pretty well fueled up, so I don't need to worry about refueling. Oh yeah, probably should put it into all-wheel drive. Going to head up into Black River and start to open up the main road there as well. Yes, similar to Michigan, there's 4 regions, 4 maps in the Alaska region. We've got Northport, which is the one we're in right now. It has a gateway to Black River. It also has a gateway to White Valley, but that isn't openable just yet. We have to finish some other tasks before we can get to White Valley. Now, getting to White Valley is literally following that road around to the right that I'm pointing at, and there you can see the gateway there, but it's currently blocked or locked because we don't have enough, we haven't done a task that we need to do. So we'll keep going around to Black River, and then finally there's one other map called Pedro Bay, which you can't get to from this map, from Northport. You can only get to it from Black River. So we'll gradually go around and open them all up. At the moment, the first one on the list is Black River. down a bit to come through here. There's a couple of nasty rocks that can damage your suspension a bit or bump you sideways if you're not careful. Otherwise though, we're pretty safe. So I'm now heading up to the gateway instead of turning off to the factory. That is our gateway to Black River. So, Mountain River, not Black River. Mountain River. So let's look at Mountain River's scene. Some snowy trees, some roads. Very cool. Just toddle down here where there's a task. I'm going to put my tail into the task rather than my nose so I don't have to turn around. Here we have a construction task being to restore the bridge. We'll activate that one. Head on. Now, I guess to do this task, let's just pause there for a sec. I should have looked at it while I had it up, shouldn't I? Restoring the bridge, I need a concrete slab and I need 2 service spare parts, but they're in 2 separate runs. So I have to do the concrete slab first and then I have to do the service spare parts. However, I can see that it is now 7:48. Time seems to have got away from me a little, so I'm going to stop the truck there because that's far too close to 8 o'clock. So we'll hold it there, and that'll do us for the first day of Alaska. We've done well. We've opened up the beginnings of Northport, and now we've come over to Mountain River, so which is good. So we're going to keep pushing on and gradually open up Mountain River, get that bridge sorted, and then start doing a few more tasks and contracts back in Northport. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying our little sessions as we run. This is day 1 of Alaska, day 45 overall, and hopefully you'll join me again tomorrow when we'll continue on with the next day of my adventures in SnowRunner. Thanks for watching and hope you have a great day. Bye for now.